2 seats side by side, a cruise speed of 107 knots, and a mainstay of student pilots and CFIs everywhere. It's the Cessna 152. Welcome to the first episode, in fact, the pilot episode, of Other People's Airplanes. The side-by-side seating in this, and frankly many other aircraft in its class, lend themselves nicely to flight instruction because of the ease with which the instructor can show the student how to operate the flying machine and then actually observe their performance as they execute the maneuvers. Our pilot for today's episode is Casey Allen. Casey is a CFI and CFII with over 2,100 hours total time in everything from Cessna 152s to SR-22s. Casey has been training pilots since 2006 and has given the gift of flight to no fewer than 15 pilots. Today's flight is going to be out of X-Ray 59er, that's Valkyria Airport. We've got our weather with ForeFlight, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a little bit of wind out of the northeast, and should make for a little bit of fun on takeoff and landing, but should be great going up. We're just going to fly around the area, maybe go out over the beach and get an area view, and we're going to fly just wherever we feel like flying. Should be a great little flight. This particular airplane is a 1983 Cessna 152-2, and it's time for me to fly.
Alright, pre-flight inspection is complete. Passenger briefing, insert the metal tower in the metal buckle, pull until tight, release, lift the buckle. You're familiar with positive exchange of controls?
Yes.
Cool. Familiar with how to open and close the door?
I am.
Fantastic. Seatbelts are good on my side. Fuel selector valve is on both. Electrical equipment, autopilot is all off. Brakes feel good. Circuit breakers are in. Rotating beacon is on. Mixture rich. Carpet cold. Grab the master switch for me, please. Red
Master
one.
switches.
That one.
Oh.
And clear prop. Turn the key.
And check, how do you hear me? Hey.
Valkyria, automated advisory, wind 060 at 14, heat 19er, altimeter 3015, conditions favor runway 10, pilot's discretion.
Alright, just give me a magneto check. 2 clicks to the left first. Ready? Yep. Back to both. And then 1 click to the left. Good, and back to both. Perfect. Here's good. Engine instruments are in the green. Selections to the green. Ammeter centered at 0. Alright. Alright. Close our windows and you know how to do this? Yeah. Alright, cool. I'll let you you take the controls. We're looking to rotate around 50. 50? Climb out 65 and 75. Alright. And I'll get your radio calls for you.
You'll do the radio. Okay.
Valkyria traffic. Red and white Cessna will be departing runway 10 at Valkyria.
Clear on the traffic?
Clear on this side, yeah.
It looks good over here. Normally try to go all the way down there and eat up all your runway, or do you care?
We should be okay. There's a fairly strong headwind today. Plenty of runway.
Where you go?
Alright, let's do it.
Knots. Rotate. Pretty bouncy today.
It is, yeah, it's going to be pretty bouncy.
It's good breezy. Yeah. We saw that on ForeFlight. And the trees.
And we'll just climb out straight out to the east. Okay, traffic, red and white Cessna is upwind 10, departing the pattern straight out to the east Falk area.
And the climb out is about 75, you said? 670?
Yeah, 65 to 75.
Moved up pretty good up here.
Yeah.
Now, it seems fitting that the first aircraft featured on other people's airplanes also happens to be the same type of airplane I flew in when I was first exposed to general aviation at the age of 8. My father, a private pilot, took me to what was at the time Melbourne Regional Airport, loaded me into the right seat of a Cessna 152, November 48244, and showed me why he loves to fly. Now, here I am, 26 years later, sharing that love of flight with all of you. Oh, and thanks, Dad. What do you normally pull the RPM back to?
Let's go for 2300.
Gorgeous out here today. How about a turn down the beach?
Yeah, we can just head to the south or to the north, whatever you want.
Can't go too far north because we'll get into Melbourne, or how far out do they go?
They go a couple miles offshore, you know, closer to the Melbourne Causeway, so we can probably fly this way for a couple minutes though before we're into the airspace.
Alright, so if you had 3 airplanes in your dream hangar, 1 to go fast, 1 to go slow, 1 to go upside down. Doesn't matter anything, nothing else matters. What would you pick?
Honestly, I mean, for the go fast plane, I think I'd take some kind of a military jet, like an F-16 or something. You know,
Nothing wrong with an F-16.
you know, you're not gonna do much better than that. So what was it? A go fast, a go slow, and
Yeah, I want to go slow.
a go slow. I really like those the little Aventura sport planes, seaplanes. Those Those are pretty cool.
Those up there, Rockledge.
That they're built up in Rockledge, yeah.
Those are neat.
Those are neat, or something similar to that. I really like the idea of a seaplane. Or maybe like a Grumman Goose.
Yeah, there you go.
A little larger seaplane. Pretty cool.
I just thought we might putz down here to Sebastian Inlet and have a look.
International traffic 570 to the Bravo, 7 miles to the east, inbound runway 4.
So those are called Aventuras?
Aventuras, yeah.
Yeah, and what about your upside down airplane?
Upside down airplane. Honestly, I think the F-16 would probably do a good job for that.
I'm actually not sure it ever flies upside down. I just believe it rotates the Earth above it. I've heard people talk about what a stable platform it is. I just can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah. I'd really like to get into gliding or sailplanes of some sort. So I've looked into like parasailing, hang gliding. Gliders seem kind of expensive to me for what they are, but
yeah, I've only been in a glider one time, and it was a really incredible experience.
yeah.
What was amazing about it to me was that it. Whenever you fly something new, you have these expectations about what it's going to be like, and then you find out what it really is like. And for me, the expectation was when we let go of that tow rope, we were going to feel like we were falling.
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen. It was more like just still flying the plane.
Yeah.
You know, and you're descending consistently, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of nuts how little we felt like we were falling at the ground. Of course, I felt the same thing when I jumped out of an airplane once.
Yeah.
Just you didn't feel like you were falling. You just felt like you were in the air.
Right. It's just really windy. Yeah.
I don't want to get too far south because I don't want to get into the airspace there, Sebastian, because they are jumping out of airplanes up there, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you don't ever like directly overfly the field. Sebastian.
Pulled up 4th plate here. I'd like to see if how accurate this is. This thing says we're about 1,529 feet with an accuracy of 47 meters. That's pretty darn close.
Yeah. Yeah, they just added that, the GPS.
Yep.
Like whatever the tracking to the iPhone.
Yep. Get that out of there.
I tell you, the 4Flight it's just a great app. I use it, when I fly in my corporate job. Every time I fly, it's just so easy to file the flight plans.
Right there on the program.
Yeah, it's right there, and because you get a lot of you don't really know. I don't know where I'm going. I don't have a lot of notice. And emails a briefing to me, which is great.
You said we cruise at 97 knots. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So we're at about 65% power for this altitude. So your true airspeed will increase as you go up in altitude. So probably up at like 9 or 10,000 feet, it might be 107 knots. To get to 9 or 10,000 feet in this plane would take a long time though.
I have done that.
Oh yeah, and a 152.
We had it was either a 150 or a 152. We flew up to we got up to 9,800 feet.
Yeah.
And we were out west of Vero when we finally reached there. We flew out of Melbourne. We're west of Vero before we finally got that high. It was a long flight. Interestingly enough, the Magellan GPS we're using at the time said if we lost our engine, we could have glided back to Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I believe it, but it was a neat idea. There's Sebastian Inlet. Yep. And Monster Hole.
Monster Hole, breaking.
Alright, what do you say we head back?
Sounds good.
Beautiful up here. Nice and cool, too.
So what we'll do is the wind is pretty clearly favoring runway 10. So haven't heard anyone in the pattern. So what we'll do is we'll just fly maybe like up the river for a crosswind, and then we'll turn and enter the pattern on the downwind there.
Okay.
Okay, traffic. Red and white Cessna is about 3.5 miles to the south of the field. We'll enter we'll actually enter a left crosswind for runway 10 for a full stop at Valkyria.
Start coming down?
Oh yeah, you can start down to 1,000. Okay, traffic. Red and white Cessna is entering left crosswind for runway 10 at Valkyria. There you go, you're looking for 1,000 feet. And as you turn downwind, actually power setting's pretty good.
Okay, so you think downwind now?
Yeah. Okay, traffic. Red and white Cessna is left downwind for runway 10 at Valkyria. Okay, so watch your altitude. Hold it just a little bit longer. And as we come abeam the numbers, let's throttle back to 1700 RPM. And pull the carb heat out, or landing checklist carb heat out. We'll go mixture rich. Feels like they're still on. And we're in the flap range. Go ahead and put down 10 degrees of flaps. And you can go and start to turn to base. And so we're just looking to descend around 70 knots at this point. Okay, traffic. Red and white Cessna turn left base for 10. Be a full stop at Valkyria. Final approach is clear. And on base, you put down the second notch flaps.
So overshoot a little bit.
All right. And on last notch of flaps, and we're looking for 60 knots. This could be a little tricky. Look at that windsock over there. We've got a pretty stiff and gusty left crosswind. Okay. Just make sure your feet aren't close to the top of the toe brakes.
Right. Yeah, because we don't want to hit the brakes.
It's really easy to land with the wheels locked up. Like the only thing I can't correct from this side. Okay, so I'd go idle power here. Alright, you got it, pulling. Alright, and we'll just let it roll up to this intersection. We'll make a left turn there.
Alright.
Well, we've just returned from our flight from Valkyria to Valkyria. That's X-ray 59, and just a great little trip up and back. We cruised around about 1,500 feet. Just kind of got a view of the area. Beautiful day up to fly today. Like I said, a little bit of gusty on takeoff and landing, but nothing that was difficult. But we had a great time, and this is just definitely a very forgiving airplane, but just a fun airplane to fly. And you should, if you haven't ever flown in one, I'd be shocked. But if you haven't, get yourself on one of these airplanes. That's all for now. The show notes for this and every episode are available at otherpeoplesairplanes.com. Please come check it out and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/DaveFlies. That's DAVEFLYS. And also, Casey is available at twitter.com/Casey, CASEY_A1. I'll link that up in the show notes. He does awesome stuff. He's a personal friend of mine, and if you're not following him, you should be. You can also find me on mytransponder.com under the same name, Dave Flies, DAVEFLYS. mytransponder.com, making aviation more social. For now, we'll catch you next time when we get to go fly in other people's airplanes.